Hello everybody, this is Commander Tribe Elder. I got my Sliver deck, so today I wanted to kind of go over it with you. I know you've probably seen the deck list, I still have not, but I wanted to go ahead and get into it and all that stuff. We do have, from what I understand, still two commanders with this, and the front one looks still pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and open it up though. I will say that with this set of, I know that master sets are generally more expensive. Actually, I should do it from the bottom. I know that master sets are generally more expensive, but I think this was still kind of disappointing on a few fronts. Generally, you will pay, I wish I knew what these were for. Oh, cool. Yeah, they give you a bunch of 1/1 counters. I keep these things and put them in a box, but I'll take care of that later. Generally, you'll pay like 40 to 50 for a commander deck, and you'll get like right around anywhere between $80 and $100 in reprint value. I know with these it was a little different. These pretty much retailed for like anywhere from 80 to 120, and the retail or the reprint value just it really wasn't there as far as like getting that. You got extra, but it wasn't that much extra, like warranting doubling the price. You didn't get double the reprint value. These stupid things, little countdown, life token, or life countdown counter. I always thought these were interesting. They've been doing these things for a long time. I love the art they put on them. That's the, ooh, can I get the whole thing in the... That's pretty cool. I mean, it gives you, this gives a summary of the commander rules and then how to play the deck. And on the back is, just a little excerpt on the main face commander. That's cool. We'll probably see the trash can. Cool, we got a little collector booster sample pack. Let me put that on the front there. Two legendary traditional foils. Let's see what we get in there. I didn't buy any of the set. It's, from what I understand, was all reprints. But there we go. But let's see what we got. Training Center. I'll always take a... yeah, that enters the battlefield unless you have two or more opponents, or enters the battlefield tapped unless you have two or more opponents. That's cool. And copy of Exsanguate. That's a finisher in our format. That's pretty cool. Not for this deck. Yeah, so the front commander should be... Oh, they didn't give you... Yeah, that doesn't come out. They didn't give you the thick card for your commander like we've received in a lot of other sets. So that's kind of a little bit of a letdown, I guess. I guess there's a Monarch mechanic in here. Alright, so the face commander is the Sliver Grave Mother. It's Wooburg, white, blue, black, red, green. For 6/6 legendary Sliver, the legend rule does not apply to Slivers you control. Each Sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is the mana value. Why they didn't just put CMC on the card is beyond my wildest imagination. I really don't like mana value written on the card. Anyhow, Encore, this has Encore 5, which is its mana value. And Encore, you exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step and activate only as a sorcery. I can tell you already the first card I'm going to put in here is Sundial the Infinite. I believe that works with Encore and keeping your tokens around. You do have to exile the original from the graveyard, but then you'll keep the other 1 to 3 tokens. And then they're no longer bound by the clause of having to attack that specific opponent. Okay, this is not a Sliver. Okay, it's a biologist. It costs Wooburg also. It's a 3/3. Human wizard, legendary. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other creature types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Okay, so this is sort of like Painter Servant, except for creature types. Because, yeah, Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control, so anything on the stack, and instants and sorcerers, enchantment, all that stuff, if they have a creature type. And creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield, so that would include hand, graveyard, and library, and exile. So all the other zones. Yeah, so it's sort of like a Painter Servant for creature types. That's weird. You could pay 3 tap, create a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token. It's kind of a weird card. Probably will be the first cut. All right, let's see. I can imagine the mana base is pretty much just junk. Oh, we do have it. It's in the back. I thought it was in the front. No, I was mistaken. That's actually really pretty too, even compared to the actual card. Just because it's got a darker frame, which this will probably just go to my daughter. She loves these things. But yeah, that's the harder, thicker card that I was talking about earlier. I forgot they put it in between the tokens and land. That was my mistake. Anyway, so I'm going to rip through these kind of quickly, especially if we saw them in my Sliver build, which we did Wing Sliver, Clawed Sliver. Crypt Sliver is a little bit different. This one's... Yeah, I had one of these and not the other. I think I had the Clawed Sliver. The Crypt Sliver is 2/1/1. Sliver. All slivers have tap return a target creature. I don't like this one because then it kind of like you can't use it if they're attacking unless they have vigilance. Blade Sliver, I can guarantee this is probably going to be one of the first ones that I pull. I don't like doing uneven math if I can avoid it, and what I mean by that is that I like to give creatures like +1, +1, +2, +2, +3, +3, not +2, +0, or in this case +1, +0. So that's that will probably leave. Blur Sliver, 2 and a red for 2/2 slivers which you control have haste. I think the one that I have is 1 and a red and slivers have haste, so that could just be easily upgradable. This one will go to Bone Splitter Sliver. All slivers get +2, +0. Again, I hate the uneven. Yeah, all these are leaving. I don't like the uneven math. It seems like this is already, just from the start of it, with the Encore ability and these 3 slivers here, +1, +0, +2, +0, +2, +0. Like, this is an attack-based strategy, which, yeah, you're going to bring out Sliver, you know, even if it's like a 3/3 at this point with those 3 boosts, it's going to be like 8/3. And yeah, that's the kind of things you want to just hit real hard and punch through with that damage. I kind of tend to take just a tiny little bit more time with mine. I would probably replace these with like a Muscle Sliver, maybe even a Might Sliver at this point. I don't like the Might Sliver because it's expensive, but I think it just gives a +2/+2 or +3/+3, something like that. Uh, yeah, these just I don't like the uneven math. It's hard to keep track of, and then even when you calculate it all up, you're like, okay, well, what were they again? And it's just like, I don't know. These make math hard. Hollowhead Sliver, it's 2 and a red for 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have tap, discard a card, and draw a card. I would prefer it if I didn't have to tap and discard. I think that the one that I have that gives Sliver cycling kind of solves this problem. Along with the original commander that I used, the Overlord. Like, it just solves having to draw. You just pay 3 and then go get what you need instead of like, well, let's draw into something. That's why I use some of the little dirtling kind of draw spells. It's just to kind of get me through and keep me casting, because then I can get more stuff. To utilize my creatures in a way like this and put them out of combat, out of blocking, I prefer something cheaper, freer. That's why I like the pay 3, especially with the training grounds and the other ability reducer in there. It just makes it smoother. So this would probably go to. This one's not too bad. Striking Sliver, it's it's a red for a 1/1 Sliver creatures you control for a strike. Probably definitely keep that in there just for the attack orientation that it has. Two-headed Sliver, that's not too bad. 1 and a red for 1/1. All Sliver creatures you have menace. The less you're able to block mine, the better. Cultivate, that's not too bad. Farseek, that's pretty awesome. Especially if you can. I doubt they have them in here. Okay, no, they have some. Mountain Forest, Swamp Mountain, Island Swamp. One of my favorite lands. I know it's stupid, but whatever. They should have another stack of lands. Yeah, if we're gonna have Farseek in here, you can't get any of these tri-lands with Farseek. God, there's a lot of them. These, yeah, I'm gonna have to find. I usually don't mess with the mana base, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lands that come into play tapped. I mean, if you have 37 lands, that's almost a third of your lands that come into play tapped. I don't remember what my ratio of forced tapped lands I had in my deck, but 11 seems like a lot. I would at least like them to have like cycling, maybe, if I'm forcing to have them tapped on me. Anyway, Gemhide Sliver, love it. Manawef Sliver, it's basically the same thing. Oh, Might Sliver, it is +2/+2. I couldn't remember if it was +2/+2 or +3/+3. This one I would definitely leave in here. I didn't know he was in there. I guess it makes sense. They probably have the Might Sliver also. Nature Slower, it's 1 and a green. Search your library for a forest card, put that in the battlefield, and shuffle. Quick Sliver gives flash, 3 visits. Search your library for a forest card, put it in the battlefield, and shuffle. Yeah, if you're having all these that are like, search for this forest, search for that forest, it's best you're going to run low on those eventually with just the dual lands. I would definitely replace some of those tri-lands with I think they came out like Throne of Eldraine or something like that, where they had the 3 land types on the card. And then that'll give you better search results when you go using those type of cards. Venom Sliver, slivers you control have Death Touch. That's not horrible. Crystalline Sliver, one of my favorite slivers, and it looks pretty too. I got like 5 of these dumb things. Firewake Sliver, 1 red-green for 1/1. Slivers have haste. Slivers have sacrifice this permanent. This sliver gets +2/+2. There's only in the turn. That's not bad. And that's cool because you could use that as a combat trick. Especially if you have a block that you know you're not going to win because he happens to be a little bit low. Then you give it to one of your other ones that went unblocked that's a little bit high and get in a couple extra points of damage. That's not bad. Harmonic Sliver, when enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Those are fun. Hibernation Sliver, I use that one. Lava Belly, when enters the battlefield, Deal 1 damage to target player. Or Planeswalker, you gain 1 life. I don't think I used the Necrotic Sliver. Pay 3 sacrifices, permanent, destroy target permanent, 2/2 for 1 white and black. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Herald's Horn. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. I'm not sure how much this is going to reduce. I'll have to keep looking and see. Yeah, it looks like it might stay. I'm just looking at the colorless mana pips, and it looks like there's quite a few. It's not like mine where it's like, oh, this 5-drop Sliver, that 5-drop Sliver, this 5-drop Sliver. You know, I had it like basically every Wooburg Sliver in there, and that's one of the reasons I left out kind of cards like this that reduce their overall casting cost. And you can argue and say, well, it's got that other ability attached to it, and I say, yeah, but I have 2 slivers where I can go and just fetch whatever the heck I want to, so I really don't care if I get a free draw. I mean, yeah, it's a free draw, I suppose, but once you get a Gem Hide and you're using now your creatures to tap for mana, and you're bringing in other creatures, and yeah, it becomes worth it. Just not worth it, you know? So we'll see how this goes. This will probably leave. I don't like cards like this. This is Pillar of Origins. It's 2. It's an artifact. When there's battlefield, choose a creature type. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. I hate these kind of cards. You know, if you got a handful of sorceries, then you just can't use this. Random land in the middle of there. Oh, cool. That's a fetch land. Okay. Slivers you control have... When this creature enters the battlefield, slivers you control get +1/+1 to the end of the turn. If you're on the Monarch, otherwise you become the Monarch. Okay, yeah, so I had a feeling we were going to do that. And I threw that token somewhere. Monarch. Monarch is just at the beginning of your end step draw card. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, its controller becomes the Monarch. So... And yes, it has to be combat damage. So you can't just hit him with a pinger and go, haha, it's mine. You have to attack me. I haven't seen this one. Taunting Sliver, 3 and a blue for 3/3. Sliver. Slivers you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, go to target creature and opponent controls. You know, I might keep this in. I'm not a big fan of goad, but this is not a permanent goad. I think goad is good if you're not permanently doing it. If you have a way of like recurring it and like sacking other creatures with it and like choosing, especially like in this case, like this turn I could choose this creature, this turn I could choose that creature, then I think it becomes a little bit more utility when it's just like throw this enchantment on this creature and then goad it. It's like, well, that's eventually going to bite you in the butt. So you know, there's eventually going to be a point where that creature yeah, because it says until your next turn that creature attacks each combat if able, and attacks a player other than you if able. So if it's not able, then it just hits you. And now you have this creature that you give this nice bonus to that's just smacking you in the face. Titan of Litajara, I believe. 4 blue for a 6/6 illusion. As there in the battlefield, choose a creature type. It is the chosen type. In addition to its other types, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may draw a card for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. If you do, discard a card. I don't mind drawing 5 for 6 and discarding 1. That seems to be about an average rate. The only thing is that you cannot fetch this with Sliver Cycling because it needs to be being played when it enters the battlefield. Then you choose the creature type. And then now it becomes a Sliver. So, yeah, you can't Sliver Cycle for this or use the Overlord on this. It's just an illusion until it hits the battlefield. So that kind of sucks. But, I mean, it's basically the other card that I used, the, Distant Melody, which is 3 and a blue, sorcery, I believe. And you draw a card for each of the creature type that you control. So you pick a creature type and then you draw one for each of those that you have. It's basically the same thing, just a little more You get a 6/6 out of the deal. Let's top Sliver. It's 3 and a black for a 4/4 zombie Sliver. That's cool. Slivers you control have Afflict, which is whenever a creature with Afflict becomes blocked if an player loses 2 life. That's kind of interesting. Whenever a non-token Sliver you control dies, amass Slivers. Is that what I'm thinking? That's the army thing, isn't it? Yeah, put 2/1/1 counters on an. Do I have an army Sliver token? Oh, that'd be so cool. I should. Yes, here we go. Ah. That's. I almost cussed. I don't like to cuss on my videos. That's neat. I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. I think he will definitely stay. That's pretty. And they even made the token look like him. I love it. The Creparius Sliver. It's 3 and a red for 3/3 slivers you control have. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. I think that's what they call impulsive draw, when you draw it and then it goes somewhere and then you can play it until the end of the turn. I don't know. I might leave it in here. I'm just thinking, how many of those am I going to be able to cast, and how quickly will that mill me out? I mean, it's not milling technically, but it's sort of. I don't know. I might leave that in. Descendants Fury, it's 3 for and a red for an enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to the player, you may sacrifice one of them. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card that changes creature type with the sacrificed creature. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You know, I could see if I'm sacking the army token, maybe, if it's not too big. I mean, if it's a 10/10, I don't want to get rid of it. Or if I put the Sliver Queen in here and I'm making a bunch of 1/1s. Then I might use this. Otherwise, I don't see too many. Like, I hate cards like this because it's like you're banking on trying to get something better, but statistics and luck tell me otherwise just about 85% of the time. Yeah, I just, you know, I don't want to like get rid of my thing that's making my Sliver army for a muscle sliver. It's like, yeah, that boosts the overall damage of my entire army, but this one thing is making this one thing bigger, and I can stick in a Rogue's Passage and have to, this one creature coming after people and, you know, dealing 10, 20 damage to people, you know. Whereas now, okay, I have 5 slivers, and I now have a muscle sliver, killed my army maker, and now, yeah, sure, the rest of my board's +1/+1 for an overall 5 damage, but, like, how much more damage will I be putting? See, that's the sort of thing I think of when I'm running through these sort of things. Slivers can be tricky. They really can, just because of all the different abilities. It's like, I don't want to get rid of my wing sliver, and then I get, you know, a damage dealing sliver. I'm going to have way more damage go through because they all have flying, because people, including myself, are idiots and they don't have that many flyers in their decks. So, you know, having a wing sliver is great. But I don't want to sack him because he's my lowest sliver and get, like, you know, like I said, a sliver that does 2 or 3 damage if I sack the creature. Like, that's just, it's kind of wasteful. You know, if I run if anything, I'd like to switch the other way. It's like, yeah, if I have the, what was it, like the law? I don't even think it was in here. Yeah, like the lava belly. I'd be very sad if I sacked a wing sliver and got a lava belly sliver. I like the lava belly sliver, but it's just like to trade those abilities out for each other. And again, if I just grab the 2 slivers, guys, I keep harping on this. If I get the 2 slivers, the Sliver Overlord and the, I forget what he is, but he gives the sliver cycling, then that Descendants Fury means nothing to me. I can just go grab what I need. Slivers have so much utility within themselves. I don't think I had any enchantments in my Sliver deck. There was no need for it. Yeah, this would be better in like a different deck, like maybe a goblin deck would be fantastic in, because if I'm making a ton of tokens with Kranko, you know, I can sack 3 of them and go get something definitely better than just a 1/1. Maybe I'll pull a Lord. Maybe I'll pull, a Siege Gang Commander that can sacrifice others. There's so much. I think this is an out. This would just instantly be placed with either the Overlord or uh, the Sliver Cycling Sliver Cycling Sliver. Jesus. Yeah, that's probably just out. It's cool too. It's got the whole big sliver thing going in the back, or a huge worm, or dragon, or something's going on back there. I'm not sure. I think it's a worm and a dragon, which that's not a good trade either. All right, next card. Geez, for the ancestors, it's 2 and a green. For an instant, choose a creature type. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You reveal any number of cards of the chosen type. From among them, put the real cards in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This one I definitely don't mind, because most of my deck is just going to be slivers and lands. So this is like essentially draw 2 or 3 and then put some lands or instants on the bottom. I'd only be sad if I had like a training grounds or something go on the bottom, but I can wheedle that out and shuffle by, again, using the sliver cycling from the Overlord or the other sliver. So that's not a big deal. He'll probably stay in there. Hatchery Sliver, it's 1 and a green for a 2/2 sliver. Replicate. When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you pay. Oh, yes. Copy it for each time you pay the replicate cost, which is just his casting cost. And then each spell you have. Oh, shoot. I happen to have my sliver deck right next to me. I have a question about that. Kind of feel a little flat-footed right here now, because I'm wondering how that interacts with Morphon. Well, no. Morphon wouldn't count. He wouldn't count. That wouldn't work. It was a nice idea, but because Morphon just reduces the casting cost, this is an ability cost. Oh, it's probably here. Ow. Yeah, and even if it's not, even if it's considered part of the casting cost, more. Like I told you, I had it right next to me. Yeah, it just reduces it by 1 of each pip. So if something costs double Wooburg, it would only cost Wooburg. So this does not affect that ability. So, which I thought it might, but it doesn't. Which would be awesome if it did. But still, it's pretty cool. Alrighty, anyway. Boneside Sliver, it's 3 and a white. If for 2/2 sliver creatures you control have double strike, that's cool. Especially so cheap. Like, double strike has always been expensive. Like, you can almost have like a 1/1 with double strike, and the bloody thing costs 5, for crying out loud. This gives all your creatures. That gives all your creatures double strike, so that's cool. Cleansing Nova, 3 white for sorcery. Choose 1, destroy all creatures, or destroy all artifacts and enchantments. I might keep this in here just because, from the looks of it, I've been through it a couple times. Like, there's a few mana rocks, but there's not a lot, which that's going to have to change a little bit, I think. I think destroy, like, I probably never use this for destroy creatures, unless again I got caught just getting the crap beat out of me. But yeah, I think the destroy artifacts and enchantments, I think that can be really, really, really useful, especially if you have somebody that's playing like that gives all creatures hexproof, or if you're going against an enchantment deck, which that was in this cycle, was an enchantment deck. So that's probably what I'd be using this for 90% of the time is to get rid of artifacts and enchantments. Harsh Mercy, it's 2 and a white for sorcery. Each player chooses a creature type. Destroy all creatures that are not, or that aren't of a type chosen this way. They can't be regenerated. That's a pretty cool one. The only thing that sucks about that is like if you got another person that's playing tribal. Fellow at my usual tables plays lots of vampires. So this would not work against him. He's got 3 vampire decks. So this is worthless against him, but I can wipe out the other half of the board. And that's the thing, is like, I think this is going to have to depend on your meta. Like, don't bring this to the table with me. I'll choose Merfolk, Goblins, Slivers, or whatever I'm playing, and just Hobbits, or I guess they're Halflings here. And you just won't hit me at all, period. Yeah, don't bring this to the table against me. Unless I'm having an off day and I'm playing something weird like Walls or something. I like my Wall deck, though. So, anyway, Gale-Right Sliver, 1 for 1/1 that gives all Slivers flying. Synapse Sliver, 4 and a blue for 3/3. Whenever a Sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may draw a card. That's the kind of card draw that I like. I don't have to tap my creature. I don't have to sacrifice my creature. Well, actually, sacrificing wouldn't be too bad. You know, especially if it's like just sack a creature. If it's sack this creature, then it's a little bit more hurt. Well, I mean, I guess it's essentially the same thing as Sliver deck. You just put in the Sliver Queen and make a bunch of 1/1s and get rid of those dumb things. But yeah, this is still better. You know, even if you attack with 10 and hit with 3, then you're drawing 3 cards, so it's not bad. Crippling Fear, it's 2 black for sorcery. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3 until the end of the turn. Might leave that in as a utility sort of thing. Siphon Sliver, it's 2 and a black for 2/2. Slivers you control have lifelink. That's definitely staying. Spiteful Sliver, 2 and a red for 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player or planeswalker. I think I have this one in my deck, or something similar to it. Brood Sliver, this is one that's, I could probably catch some flack for not putting into mine, but I think that was the thing. It was like, I wanted to really abuse the abilities of Morphon. Like, my first pick is Crystalline, second pick is Cascade, and third pick is, well, no, second pick is Morphon, and then Cascade, and then just kind of rip the table from there. But it's Brood Sliver, it's 4 and a green for a 3/3 Sliver. Whenever a Sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may create a 1/1 colorless Sliver token. Nice to see him in there. Oh, there is a 3/3. Okay. Mega. This Sliver costs 5 and green for a 3/3 and gives all his Slivers you control get +3/+3. So he's just so expensive. God, I mean, he costs technically more than the commander. Realmwalker, always nice to see him in decks. 2 and a green for a 2/3 Shapeshifter. He has Changeling, which means he's every creature type. When you enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. Again, this is like, it's basically drawing. You know, you look and then you can do whatever machinations you need to. That was in mine. Decimate? I don't know. Like, I see a lot of people pull this card, and I get the reasoning. The main reason is, so it's 2 red and a green. It's a sorcery. You destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. The way this is worded, just in case you don't know, is each one of those has a target. If a spell loses its target during cast, so if it's like target creature, let's just use Swords of Plowshares, target creature, exile target creature, and then its owner gains that much life, I believe, equal to its toughness or its power. Anyway, if that creature leaves the battlefield, if you blink it, destroy it, whatever, it's no longer there, then the spell basically has no effect. I want to say fizzle, but I guess that's not the word anymore. the spell will go away and not have any effect if it loses its target. Well, this spell has 4 different targets. So if you blink your creature and get it out of the way, the whole spell washes out and does not do anything. And you just spent 4 mana to do this. So this would actually, this would be almost better to just like run a Beast Within, Generous Gift. I know they're 1 less, but they hit anything, and that's usually what you're going to do. Is like, I mean, this gets rid of an artifact, a creature, enchantment, and a land. Usually, you're just pining to get one of those, and the rest is kind of circumstance. You know, if there's an enchantment that's ticking you off, then it's like, yeah, that enchantment is got to go. Then let's get rid of that creature and that land. You know, you're just picking the rest at random usually. So I think that it's just a more targeted, broader removal spell is better. On the other hand, people do use a lot of mana rocks. There's usually at least 1 enchantment on the board that's not yours. So, I don't know. You can kind of go both ways with this one. Sliver Hive Lord. This one's cool. It gives all your slivers indestructible. Icon of Ancestry. Icon of Ancestry enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type. Creatures control the chosen type get +1/+1. You can pay 3. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card of the chosen type from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Yeah, I don't like that it only goes 3 deep. I'm trying to think, is paying the 3 and then 3 again worth that +1/+1 bonus? I mean, I get that they went real attack heavy. You have the +1/+1 sliver, the +2/+2 sliver, the +3/+3 sliver, the +1/+0 sliver, the +2/+2/0 slivers. Like, they really are pushing the attack on this one. And then this is the second, Jesus, criminally third cards that give an actual +1/+1 to slivers. See, and this is what I'm talking about when math gets hard. It's like, okay, I have Icon of Ancestry, Vanquisher's Banner, a Might Sliver, and a +3/+3 sliver, and a +2, you know, just, I like to go, okay, this one's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're +8/+8. Not, okay, wait, this one's +3, this is +2/+0, so that's, wait a minute. It just gets complicated and needlessly. So, I like this one that it searches things out. That's not bad. And I guess you could keep this in here and, you know, be one of the few of those type of abilities that gets to stay. I might remove the +3/+3 sliver. We'll see. I don't know. He's just expensive. And even putting Morph on it doesn't solve that problem. But, like, Vanquisher's Banner is just pricey, too. They got to put all these big... And I get that Commander's supposed to be a social thing. That just means that the creators of Magic don't live in Colorado. But I just like that Battle Cruiser Commander. It just seems like it's gone. You know, playing the big, splashy... You know, just it doesn't seem like it's there too much from what I see anymore. I don't know. That's what I see here. You know, things like paying 5 for a Vanquisher's Banner. Well, I could pay 5 for just about anything else. That's why I have, you know, so many Wooburg 5-drops in my deck. Because it's like, well, I'm getting Indestructible. I'm getting Cascade. I'm getting, you know, this, and this. This I'm getting +1/+1. And I can draw an extra card every turn. So this will probably go. These are cool. I love seeing these. This is pretty cool because, yeah, you're going to need all your colors. Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, Soul Ring. That's going to be a little bit more useful in here. Ash Barrens, Command Tower, Path of Ancestry. Cool. Yeah, those are all pretty solid. Constricting Sliver. Again, this is what I'm talking about. 6 for this, for a 3/3. Silver creatures you control have When this creature enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature. Ooh. They did have the indestructible sliver in here, right? Yeah. Okay. That'll help save some of that off. And they had crystalline, I remember that, so they're not targetable. The only thing is that, like, so far these aren't searchable. Oh, Distant Melody, yeah, I was correct. Yeah, these are not searchable in this deck. That's the only thing. Like, it's hard to not run the Sliver Overlord as a commander. Especially in a deck like this, it just seems like you're kind of wanting to pay. I don't know if you want to pay that Encore ability as a win condition. Like, oh, hey, my Sliver Overlord went into the. Going back to the Overlord. Pick something different. The Hive Lord. Sliver Hive Lord went into the graveyard. All right, well, I'm going to pay 5 for that. And then Sliver Legion, 5 for that. And now I have 3 of those and 3 of the other ones. So now I've got 6 slivers that all say, all sliver. You know, it's so combo-y wanting to be. Like, I'm almost wondering if you want to tuck this commander into the deck and use an Overlord as your commander and just pull her out when you need her and not even be like, I mean, I'm not saying be deceitful when you go down to the table, like have that honest conversation, but still, it's like Sliver Grave Mother can almost be a hidden commander, where you're basically doing that. Like, I've saved up 10 mana in one way, shape, or form or another because the Encore does not count colors, so things like yours, Soul Ring and all that stuff will be useful. And just say, hey, I've got 10 mana on the board. I'm going to pull these 2 high priority targets out. And now you have 6 slivers, and they're going to kick the. They're going to do some stomping. I wonder if that's how this should be played, honestly. I don't know. Constricting Sliver, 5 and a white for 3/3. Yeah, this is the removal one. Sorry, I'm reading it again. I got really distracted there. Sentinel Sliver, it's 1 and a white for 2/2 slivers. You control Vigilance. That's nice. That's always nice. Sinew Sliver, 1/1. +1/+1 for all slivers. Diffusion Sliver, 1 and a blue for a 1/1. When a sliver creature you control becomes target spell or ability, an opponent controls, which they shouldn't be if you're using the Crystalline. Counter that spell or ability. Oh, it's Ward 2. It's Ward 2. That's all it is. Distant Melody, I just went over that not too long ago. Shifting Sliver, that was in my deck. Surface can't be blocked by slivers. Windfall. It's kind of an odd spell to put in here. Not really, because you could tuck your commander into your graveyard. Well, no, you need the commander out in order to trigger the Encore ability. Or, no. No, you don't. There you are. Yeah, because it has Encore itself. So yeah, you could toss your commander into your graveyard, Encore her first, and then Encore something else, and then you won from Windfall. as weird as that sounds. Yeah. These. Oh, I see what they did here. Yeah, these all need to be replaced. That's just, ugh. It's hard even looking at it. I don't know how I feel about this being on a land. I guess it gives you colorless, so it's better than just tapping for the color. It taps for 1 mana of any color, and you spend that mana to cast only creature spells of the chosen type that you chose when it came out, or activate abilities of the creature of the chosen type. I think I'll leave that one in, honestly. It produces a colorless if nothing else. And there's a lot of that running around here. There's not too much, red, blue, white, blue casting costs running around. It's usually 2 and a green, 3 and a green, 3 and a white. So that's fine. So I got 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3. That's funny because I had one more forest in mine too, as opposed to the rest of them. Yeah, so that's the Sliver deck from the Commander Masters from 2023. I think I kind of see the direction I'm going in. This other commander, I'm not even sure what to do with him, except for cut him out of the deck. Um, it's definitely an attack-based deck. I know. I'm almost done. There we go. OCD. Okay, we're good. Yeah, it's definitely going for that. I'm attacking and beating this just snot out of you. Unfortunately, I'll probably remove a lot of those cards. I mean, I already see the 0 plus X plus 0 cards being removed. Some of the enchantments are going to be removed. Some of the artifacts are going to be removed. And maybe a couple other slivers. I kind of am thinking of buying another Sliver Overlord. I don't know what they're going for now. But I might run him and then kind of run her as a hidden type commander. And then kind of like, I might even do that, like have more wheel effects in the deck. I can't think of them off the top. Reforge the Soul, which has the miracle cost on it. I don't know. We'll see. I will finagle with this for a few days, and then I will do an upgrade on it, and we'll see how that goes. The only problem is usually when you bring slivers to a table, people get a little salty, which is fine. I understand the bias against them. They're pretty broken. They do a lot of crazy stuff. Actually, if Training Center's not in there, I might throw that in there. Anyway, yeah, so that's going to do it for this. I have pre-ordered a bundle pack. That was kind of cool. I'm not going to mention the company. I love them to death, though. But I picked this up for $105. I went to the same company for a bundle for the Wilds of Eldraine. It's got the booster box set. It has the 2 commander decks, and it also has some other thing in it. I think it's like a I don't know. It's another thing. Anyway, I might do another like unboxing thing, sort of like what I did with this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I probably won't go through each individual deck on camera when I do that. I might just do the booster box or the little box. It's one of those little boxes that anyway. So that's what I got planned next. I also do have a few decks. I know I mentioned my wall deck. I have not put that on the channel. I got a few other things I could do between here and there, so we'll just kind of see what comes out next. I might try to get something posted maybe once or twice a week. We'll see how it goes. In any case, take care, have fun, and we'll see you next time.